What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction. We're back with more of the Vapids. Once again, big shout out to Yvonne. And again, we're going back to the album Teenage Head, which I now have framed correctly. It's a post-2000 album, but it's in homage to a self-titled album from the group Teenage Head, which came out in 1979. And I mentioned when I reacted to the opening tune that I had a very early 80s raw punk rock feel, and Yvonne said there's a reason for that. So I have the album framed better now, so when we go through the rest, I won't be surprised that, again, even though it's a record post-2000, that it has an earlier sound. So the next tune is called Get Off My Back, the sentiment that someone is weighing you down, hampering you, haranguing you, or otherwise burdening you, and that you want to cast off that burden and be free to make your own decisions, to not be bullied or pressured into making certain statements or actions. So it feels like a very punk rock sentiment just out of the gate. Let's find out how it comes across in the Vapids version. This is the Vapids. The tune is Get Off My Back, and it's from a tribute or homage album to the 1979 self-titled album by Teenage Head. You can feel it. Yeah, another fantastic one. I mentioned before that when I first got into punk rock, even though it was the early to mid 90s, I initially gravitated to early 80s punk rock, early Subhumans, early Bad Religion, Dead Kennedys eventually. So, yeah, music that's from punk rock from the late 70s, early 80s will always be very near and dear to my heart. So it's a very faithful homage to the styles and sounds. Now, again, I haven't heard Teenage Head themselves, but I'm imagining this is very much the flavor of the original release. And yeah, ultimately, there are moments there where it's reminding me of early Subhumans, and especially where there's like feedback on the guitar and so on. And yeah, ultimately, it's interesting. It sounded somewhat like what I was thinking, but ultimately, it didn't sound quite as like specifically directed. It sounded like more about what they're doing and less about, you need to stop trying to manipulate me or, you know, burden me and so on. But we did hear the line "Get Off My Back" by the end. So another cool tune. Looking forward to more. Once again, shout out to Yvonne. Do appreciate you for sharing this and the hip. And yeah, like I said, as someone who's listened to music of this type for a long time, but not being aware of either of the bands before this is a cool journey to take, and you know, one that fits very much into an interest I already have. So in any case, let me know what you think. I will see you next time. Peace.